Let's play some Kerbal, guys. So, we have some stuff to do, okay? So, we need to work out the code for executing a maneuver. And once we are done with that, we need to do it, right? I think we want to use an old communications satellite, which is one of these down here, the KCOM 1.0 constellation. So what we'll do is we'll use this, we'll just plan some junk maneuvers or something, and get some kOS code written for it to execute the maneuver. I will later, Falcon. Tag me so I don't forget. Bug me about it and be like, hey, grab, hey. Nah, I'm good. I'm only not going to because you said so. You're being very, very Dobby when it's 30 minutes from his feeding time right now. So we started feeding the dogs this stuff called Farmer's Dog, okay? And Farmer's Dog is like a fresh food that they send to your house. Now it's frozen, of course, but they send it to your house, and it's like made specifically for your dog and all this stuff, and they measure it out for you, and it's like all fresh cooked and prepared ingredients and all that. It's not raw, but it's all like made fresh, you know, and it stays in the fridge and all this stuff. And so it's like really high quality food. It's expensive, but it's very good for your dog. Hashtag not an ad, but you should totally get it anyway, if you have a dog. But so they get really excited about food now, and we feed them on a schedule, like right at 5 p.m. every afternoon. And Falcon, what you just reminded me of is like at 4 to 4:30, Dobby is like standing like a meerkat screaming at me until we feed him. Or like Stewie in that one Family Guy episode, Mom, Mummy, Mom, Mummy, Mum, Mum, Mummy, Mum, 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 Mummy. Anyway, so we need to get some stuff done, man. Some stuff and things. I'm getting all our code stuff opened up right now. Made salmon with a creamy Dijon chive sauce and roasted zucchini and potatoes tonight. Oh, buddy. You got that in HelloFresh, didn't you? How are you liking it, man? So I'm guessing you got like your next week's of food already, huh? Imagine a Mimi wider version of Dobby called Dabo. Dobby used to be a mimier, wider version of Dobby until he went on hashtag not an ad, Farmer's Dog. So you basically tell them like, what's the goal weight of the dog? What's the current weight of the dog? So they kind of like send you pre-portioned amounts for the morning and the afternoon meal or whatever. And he lost weight perfectly. And now he's at his perfectly healthy weight. So now he's a smaller version of Dobby, but he's crybaby little bastard whenever he wants his food. Hashtag please sponsor me. Pretty much. Pretty much. This is from the first week still. My next box is Wednesday. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So we've got this maneuver. Planned, and it is in 55 minutes. Now, what we want to do is work on some stuff, right? We want to work on some stuff. So, let's pull up the documentation for kOS. Let's look through it. So here it is. So here's the stuff for maneuver nodes, okay? Now, we've already created the maneuver nodes, so we don't need to learn how to create them. Eventually, we'll have to actually, do the thing. So this next node thing is going to be kind of nice. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just do some test commands and try to print like time to node or something. Let's see. Let's do ETA. Let's do ETA. So in the game, we're going to do print next node ETA, basically. So let's check this out. $3,200 seconds. How many minutes is that? That is exactly right. So that's 54 minutes and change. So, okay. So we'll loop next node ETA when it hits 0. Then we'll do the burn basically, right? So Shaw's, that's the thing, is when you get HelloFresh, they might tell you like use, because we ordered the 2 serving variant of the meals that we get. You can either order like 2, 4, 10. I don't know exactly what it is, but we ordered the 2 serving variant of the meals. And the directions are like, use this much of this ingredient for the 2 serving variant, use this much for the 4 serving variant. If it's something like onions in a meal and it says use the whole onion for 4 servings, of course, onions are awesome. I'm going to use the whole goddamn onion anyway. Use only this much seasoning for 2 servings. No. So rarely do I actually follow those directions, and it works out perfectly fine for me every time. Replace your blood with the sauce. You don't use your blood as the sauce in the first place? Savage, man. So this is actually going to be, I think, a lot easier than I thought. So let's that's the next node ETA. We probably want to look at like burn time. Time of the node rather than ETA relative. No, we don't want that. Burn factor with magnitude equal to delta V. Let's print out delta V. Print next node delta V. Interesting. Let's do mag. 50 delta V. Okay. Now, if I adjust the maneuver, I want to see and make sure. Actually, hold on a second. Let's loop around. I want to see if we start the burn and we're like halfway through it, will that next node delta V print out the correct number? So when we're looping through the burn, we want to turn off the engine once the delta V for the burn equals 0, basically. So let's just do a little bit of this test burn, and we can see how this is going to work, because I'm just kind of imagining the logic loops in my head that we need to do here. Okay, let me just do like a portion of the burn, and then we're going to do this next node again. Oh yeah, the engine's not on. That might help. Okay, so we should get a return of like 17.8 or something like that now. We do, perfect. So that's going to be the value that we check for 0. If you guys see, let me increase the font size here quite a bit so you can see what's going on. When we started before we started the burn, this next node delta V magnitude command gave us the exact delta V of the burn, right? Now we've done some of the burn. If you look down here, it's 17.8 delta V left in the burn. The next node delta V mag command returns 17.8. So that's our loop logic. We're gonna loop until that reaches 0. Perfect. Okay. So here's what we got to do. You know what? We can even do time warping stuff. Let's worry about getting the actual, hold on, I think I gotta do run clear locks. Let's do a new maneuver. Just like that or something. My favorites so far were the hoisin honey chicken with rice and roasted green beans, and then meatballs with the Bulgari sauce with roasted green beans on ginger rice. That actually sounds amazing. Sounds Gouda. Sounds Gouda. All right. And I think we can do lock steering to next node. Let's go check our documentation here. Burn vector. Okay, burn vector is what we're looking for there. Okay, next node burn vector. So if I do that, let me kind of get us off of the maneuver node for a bit. So we're watching the nav ball there, and we're gonna see this should lock us right in the maneuver node. Oh, and it totally does. Yes. Nice. Nice. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Which thing, Chivo? I know we talked about something related to that, but I don't remember. Monty Crispy. I mean, we're still going to be needing to do pilot stuff and probe cores and all that, but my gameplay rules for this hard mode are anything out of the Kerbin system needs to be done with kOS or an experience like a pilot Kerbal. So that's kind of the idea. So this is going to be an Eve orbiter mission. The contract technically says flyby, but we're going to orbit Eve. And so we're going to plan and do the maneuver to leave Kerbin ourselves. That's fine. But the maneuver to capture orbit at Eve is going to be done by kOS. The thing to allow kOS to execute action groups. I remember that, but we'll just pop the action groups before we leave ourselves. I don't want to deal with that right now. But I think it does do action groups, actually. Grab today, I got Surf and Hone and Roby Pokemon and beat the 5th gym. Now I'll explore the other half of Hone the water part. Nice. I've been playing Pokemon Unbound, actually, on my phone. On the Game Boy emulator. You should look it up. But yeah, Chivo, I do remember that, but that's I've just been so behind on KSP streams, I don't want to worry about the action group thing. You know? That makes sense? So let's do this. So we're going to need to start actually writing this script now. Okay, so let's say clear screen. Lock steering to is it next node burn vector. I forgot what the printing syntax is. Print. Oh, yeah, easy. Okay. Sorry, I finally can't jailbreak it. You don't need jailbreak. Yeah, no, it's just an app you download on your phone called My Boy, I think is what my Game Boy emulator is called. Let me see. Yeah, it's literally called My Boy. Right up there in the top right of my apps for my games. And boom. Yeah, there's Pokemon Unbound. Look at that. No, Android. I don't know what emulators exist for iPhone, but I know that they do exist. Yeah, I've been playing Pokemon Unbound. Okay, so then what we need to do is set... Nerd. Yeah, I know. What I want to do is for the docking stuff, there was something that we wrote. There was some function we wrote. Let me see, where is that? Close target lock. Here we go. I'm going to use something here like this. What this does in the docking script is it waits until we are actually aiming where it's telling us to aim. This function makes that happen. So basically that's kind of what it is. So we're going to call this function and yes, hold on. Okay, so current face back normalized. Let me see where doesn't sound right. Dude, where did we use this before? Till aim toward final vector. So where is that function? That's what I'm actually looking for. No, I do think it's this. So this is basically, yeah, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. So we're going to use some similarities to this. Let's actually put this above the meat and potatoes here. Maybe the function was inside of us all along. That's very prophetic of you, Rainlight. So we don't want to pass in parameters to this necessarily. Close maneuver node. Because this isn't going to need parameterization. Let me actually see. Okay, so close target lock. Where was this used and how do we pass in current face vec? Ship facing 4 vector. That's what it was. Okay. And then this is going to be next node burn vector. So basically what we're doing here is we are getting the difference between our current vector that we're facing and the actual maneuver node. And we're returning that difference. So when we get this difference low, then we're pointing towards the thing. So what I want to do, what maneuver? AUEV. Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, hold on. I don't, what? EUVER. Yeah. Okay. I believe you. I had to check it myself. It's like one of those words where you like have to write it or see it yourself to believe what it's spelled like. Okay, so yeah, so this is going to return the difference between where we're pointing and where we want to point. So let's go ahead and clear screen real quick there. I also want to write a clear line function. So function clear line. Okay. I guess. I want to do some testing with this real quick. I know I spelled it wrong, but it's spelled wrong in the name of the script here, so we'll fix that. So, what is this value? 34.312. What if I move away from the vector? Let's clear my locks real quick. Why can't I control the craft? What's going on here? Yeah, it's not... That is weird. Okay, hold on. There we go, okay. SAS was actually turned off, so that would definitely do it. I wonder why kOS is still trying to lock something somewhere. That's very weird. Why isn't my clear lock script killing it there? Let's manually tell it to unlock steering. Okay, yeah, I don't know why clear locks wasn't actually clearing the steering there. That's weird. That was weird. Okay. Let's run maneuver again. What is this 60 value? Okay, so that's the delta V. Interesting. That's not the actual... let's see here. Steer vector is target no position, target 4 vector. Okay, yeah. Normalized, that's what it is. So these need to be normalized vectors. That's why. Okay. And while I'm here, let's actually rename this file appropriately. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's just kind of have it away from that. Let's do run maneuver. Okay, now it's actually getting down to 0. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. That's the loop that we need. Hi, back. I'm Dad. Hi, Falcon. That's the French spelling, Chivo. I will hopefully not disappoint you too much. How does that sound? So now we can get the ball rolling. We got the right value that we're getting out of that function. So let's say wow, Thomas, rude. Okay, so now let's make sure. What I want to do is make sure it's only printing one line and not infinitely printing. That's why we did the clear line function. So let's do run maneuver. Clear screen. Thank you. It's still just infinitely printing. Why? It should be printing. Oh, because you know what? I didn't transfer the save of this file over. That's why. Boom. Now we do this. Okay. So it is doing the printing correctly. But the interesting thing is I want it to update the printing screen a little bit differently. So how many characters is that? Let me go find out how many characters this is. $47 characters. Okay. This is going to be... So we'll do it at 49. No, 48, because there's a space at the end. And then we'll just do this. Clear line, we probably actually want a different parameter. Parameter. Care. Num. Let's see. So this will be 47, 48, 1. And I think that should be good. That should only clear off the end of the line and update the number. Let's see. Still have that at the bottom of VS Code? What do you mean? Seems that the beast won't be showing up. What do you mean, Thomas? Oh, does it really? Oh, it totally does. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. It's actually pretty nice. Actually pass in character 49 there. This should be 49. That's interesting. I actually don't think I need to clear the line, to be honest. Let's try that. There we go. Now it's just updating the number. Perfect. But that number didn't look right. That's the thing. I think we're off by a character here, and that's why. There we go. That's looking good. Oh, that's perfect. All right. Well, of course, the script ends there because the logic closes it out. And then we're going to wait how many seconds? Let's say, I don't know, 10 seconds. And then we'll print onto maneuver vector. Then let's actually clear the line. And we'll pass in 0, 1. And we'll print this here. Let's make sure we're good up to there. We're not actually writing the time warp stuff yet. We'll do that in just a moment. I should probably make a commit in the code, so let's do that real fast. Brain stuff. Oh, right. So do we not think that the big Chungus crane will do stacking for the booster for ship 20 flight? Is that not the idea? Why'd you have to bring Big Chungus up again? Well, because. Yeah, okay. So that does lock on correctly. Well, the one you're talking about is way bigger than Frankencrane. Really? Okay. Yeah, you'll know that better than me. But you didn't answer my question, though. Will they have to crane stack Booster 4 Ship 20 for flight at this point, or no? Locked on, now fires the laser! Is that an Austin Powers reference? I feel like that's an Austin Powers reference. $100 billion. Gotcha, Boster. Okay, okay. So now we need to time warp, right? So let's set oh no, I'm not even creating it. Well, I don't even think we need to do that. We can just do this. We can just call it directly. Rainlight, it's magical, okay? It's magical. Okay, so now we need to go into the KOS docs and find the time warp stuff. Also warp forward to a known timestamp. Interesting, interesting. What if I don't want to warp to an actual timestamp? What if I just want to warp forward? Okay. I really enjoy coding streams when I work in the morning. No! I do too, man. I do too. I get it, man. It gets it. Let me make a duplicate here. And then let's go back here to our maneuver stuff. See, if we pull maneuver time, and we can do the warp 2 time, we could do that minus 120 or something for 2 minutes before, or 30 seconds before, or whatever. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll do, we'll have it warp forward until whatever maneuver time is met. Okay, yeah, this should be pretty easy. I got a 10-hour version. That's cursed. That is cursed. So actually, I don't know if we're going to loop like this necessarily. Let's do this. It's going to be time warp Warp 2. How is this called? Hold on a second here. Let's look for some examples here. It's been good knowing you, bud. Oh no. What is this, Thomas? Oh no. Why is he evil? Why is Mason evil? I don't get it. Oh, so we can actually do it a little bit differently. So we can say warp 2. Then we want to do next node. What was it? Time minus 30. Let's try that. I'm going to test that here. Oh, it is doing the auto warp. That's cool. Okay. Now, is it going to knock us off 30 seconds before the maneuver? Let's see. I think it's the node in T time. Okay, so it did knock us off. That logic does knock us off 30 seconds before. Tea time is a good idea, to be honest. Oh my god, isn't it though? All right, let's give this a quick little test here. Let's make a quick new maneuver. Let's clear screen, run maneuver. Would you like big chungus for the PS4 for Christmas? I do. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I get the reference, Mason. I do get it. Okay, so that worked. Nice. So let's go back into the code here. Let's clean this up a little bit. So this will be at... do we want to clear that line? I feel like we want to clear that line. No. We'll start at 2 there. That's fine. Add a little bit of commenting here. See, the thing is with this isn't good in a way because this doesn't account for burn time. This doesn't account for burn time of the maneuver. Yeah, that's my concern here, is this would not account for burn time. It's just 30 seconds before the node. Although, with just trying to enter a circular orbit... Hellfish, we're working on writing code for a satellite to capture orbit at Eve. What we're doing for our internal gameplay rules is anything outside of Kerbin's SOI. So anything at the Kerbin's moons I can do. Mun and Minmus I can do by hand. But if there's no pilot on board, then we've got to do it with kOS. Anything outside of Kerbin's SOI or without a pilot, and without a pilot I should say, has to be done with kOS. So we're sending a probe to Eve later in the stream. And yeah, I can do the maneuver to get to Eve, but we want to orbit Eve if we can. For juicy science, right? So what we're trying to do right now is write code to do the orbit insertion burn. That's what I want to do, Chivo. But I need to find out how to get the burn time from kOS. I mean, I just found someone else's code here. I haven't decided if I want to pull other people's code or not. Let me see if this at least works. Pizza is not a sandwich. No, it's not. What would you call a calzone, though? That's the real question. How does a calzone fit into this? Calzone is a dumpling? A pizza dumpling? I don't know, man. I'm adding that wait until RCS at the bottom so it just recursively stays alive and doesn't kill the script because I want to see what the output is here. Yeah. Hold on. Run clear locks. Thank you. Oh, it would actually, hold on, stop. We need to actually add some delta V into the burn. That might help it not get confused. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we get. What I'm trying to do is have it print out the burn time for this. That's what I'm trying to get it to do. That's what I'm thinking, Chivo. Yeah, that's the code that I just pasted into the script there. What did it not like? Number of arguments being passed in. Okay, so what did it not like? What parameters is it expecting here? Delta V. Oh, okay. So it wants us to pass in the maneuver. That should be easy. Next node. Delta V. Perfect. Okay, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Oh. Control is not locked. Excuse me. Hello? There we go. That's weird. Now let's give it some delta V. Run maneuver. I don't think it liked this. Hold on. Scalar and vector. It must need magnitude, I think, is this. Solving the rocket equation. It's casual. Don't worry about it. So we need to actually get the magnitude of that vector. So let's say mag like this. Because right now it's a vector and it needs a scalar, I think, being passed in. So now let's go over here. Need to actually redo the maneuver. Or we can just drag it ahead of us. That should be easy. .5. Let's see. So it detected 1.5 as the burn time, I think. But let's I want to increase it a lot. So let's just pretend that that's the burn time, okay? So that would be 18 seconds. Let me drag this maneuver up quite a bit. And so on. Let's stop this. Unlock steering. Clear screen. Run maneuver. Okay, here in just a second, it should print out like 18 point something. If that's it, then this code works that we pulled. No, 29. So whatever this code is pulling down is not accurate. So it's returning a value of 29 when our actual burn time is 18. So something's fucky here. Maybe it's because I don't have the delta V to do this burn. Let's tell it actually a burn that we have delta V to do. I have 426 delta V, so. Boom. So this should be about 12 seconds. So the printout should actually be hopefully accurate, I think. I wonder if someone can make a teriyaki burrito. I'm sure it's been done. A chili cheese fry burrito exists, so that's a thing. 12 seconds. Okay. All right. So that seems to be accurate. That seems to be accurate. That maneuver time, yeah, okay. So this function that I just pulled off of someone's kOS GitHub gives us maneuver node burn time. Anything you wrap with a tortilla can be a burrito. In college, there was a place that did sushi burrito delivery. It wasn't good. It sounds cool, but it was not good. Okay, so here. We need, let's see. So we know that this is basically good. Minus maneuver time, X node, delta V mag times divided by 2. Minus 30. So basically, we want. Hold on a second here. So we're going to pass that in, divided by 2. Actually, what is the kOS syntax for math here? Whoops. That's not what I meant to click. I don't want like arctan and stuff like that. I just want division. Oh, is it actually just a slash? Oh, it is. It is just a slash. Okay. And apparently, Kikkoman's the soy sauce company has a suggested recipe for chicken teriyaki burrito. Oh, nice. That's kind of funny. They would provide that. There's such a thing in boot camp in my battalion that was called Fat Boy Sunday. Chili fries, burgers. Nice. That actually sounds pretty, pretty cozy. Having a dedicated junk food day. So what we're doing here is now this warp time target is going to be the time of the exact node minus half of the burn time and then minus an additional 30 seconds. That's the idea. So let's test it again. Let me copy this over. Okay. Or parametric surface. What? What is a parametric surface? Okay, so it didn't... Something went weird there. Something definitely went weird. Let's actually set a variable here first. Set warp target to. Then we're going to grab all this logic here. Boom. And we'll just say warp to warp target. Because it definitely immediately stopped and did not time warp like it's supposed to. What do we get? Yeah, it hangs it up. It doesn't actually time warp with that. So why is it not time warping? So it's got to be it's got to have to do with how we're hitting this this thing. So let's take a look at the actual documentation here again. So we're looking at next node. Where was it here? Next node ETA. Interesting. It's a three-dimensional surface created by an equation used for physics models. In the case of the engine control, I learned it from. That's pretty nuts, actually. I think in the code we want to, instead of going from next node ETA or time, let's see actually. So no. That's a scalar of seconds and time. So this maneuver time code that we wrote is also returning seconds. No, warp 2 should be working just fine. Let's go look up this warp 2. Call to warp forward to a known timestamp. Let's see. Man, it's a scalar timestamp. That's weird. Let's make sure I'm doing this logic correctly. So we have burn time divided by 2. We have next node time minus that, minus another 30. We get 30 seconds before we're supposed to start the burn. I guess I don't understand why that's not pulling that correctly. Hold on, let's see here. What's up, Alucard? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing good. Interesting. The next node time is a constant. Yeah, so next node time is constant, but next node ETA is obviously going to be different because every time we call it, it's been time. I'm doing good, Alucard. I'm doing great, actually. Doing really good. So looking at that documentation with how warp 2 takes in a scalar value, and then looking at our code here, next node time is a scalar value, and then we're subtracting this, plus we're also subtracting another 30. Let me just do a print statement here. Okay, because I got to see exactly what it's printing out for this, because something's going weird with, I think this math syntax maybe. Because the scalar, everything except scalar time values in seconds. So, yeah, let's see what's going on here. What is going on in my chat? Are you guys speaking like Slytherin to each other? Okay, that time it actually did the warp correctly. What? That doesn't make any sense. I didn't change anything with the actual warp math at all. All right, that's fine. That's weird. I might not have copied over the changes in the code or something. What's up, Dread? How you doing, buddy? Welcome in, man. Let's make a quick commit in the code. Classic. Yeah, you know what it is my working directory for the code is not dumping the files directly into where Kerbal Space Program looks for them. So when I make a change to the code and save it, I have to go copy the file over as a manual safeguard against breaking the existing working whatever. And yeah, I could set up like a folder redirect or something, but I specifically don't want to do that. So I think I probably just forgot to copy over a change or something, to be honest with you. But this logic works. This calculates exactly 30 seconds before the node that we need to start burning, and then we warp to that target, and then it waits until we get out of time warp. That's what this ship unpacked is. And then it says time warp complete, preparing for maneuver. And then we want to do the burn, basically. We've still got lock steering on node burn vector, but I'm going to refresh that actually here, just in case. Refresh steering lock. Now that we're out of time warp. As a member of the House of Husslepuss, I won't confirm or deny. Excuse me, what? Ends up with the same air that early Patriot missiles had. I remember reading about that once. The language this is witchcraft used. This is Kerbal operating system. It's a mod that allows you to do this kind of stuff in the game. Oops. Okay, so that's how that's gonna work. So we want to basically say wait until time seconds equals next node time, and then we want to hit the engines. No. This is actually not right. What's up, Snackless? How you doing, buddy? Welcome in, man. We're trying to write some code to execute maneuvers with our gameplay rules. We're going to have to do some kOS stuff. So today is our first day really kind of diving into that, at least on stream. So I'm just testing something right now. Two more terabytes? Jesus, man. Why? Why? Are you a data hoarder? As we like to call you people in IT. You're a data hoarder. I'm very much discriminating against you right now. Let's see what we get. DCS is big, GTA is big, Flight Sim is big. That's true. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, that time it did not do the math for time warp correctly. What the hell happened? DCS looks fun, man. I really want to try that game, but I'm gonna need like the whole setup for it, you know? And I unfortunately do not have the setup. Or at least something. Like, I don't need the full setup, but I would need like the HOTAS kind of situation at the very least, you know? Okay, I think that should actually fix that a little bit. Why, Thomas? That doesn't make any sense. It actually doesn't make sense. Time warp is not complete. Why did it work before and now it doesn't work? What? I changed nothing about it. At least the warp logic up here we didn't change. Yeah, hey, Hellfish, it's pretty damn accurate. It is pretty damn accurate. You know, there have been some interesting mods, Thomas, that have come up for single player GTA 5. I was looking at like a zombie apocalypse one that seemed actually pretty fun, but I didn't end up playing it. But that game's been out for too long, man. That game's been out for too long. They needed to like do a new one. Let's see. What I want to do is, before we even give it the warp command, I want to see what's going on here. Like what's calculating and what's the difference between warp target and next node time. And so that's what we're going to do right now. Because the warp 2 logic here is kind of not behaving correctly. Let's put it that way. It's not Python, no. If you try running each section of the code on its own, I'm kind of sort of doing that, but not exactly. Okay, so it is correctly doing this. So this is the time of the maneuver itself, the actual node. And then it looks like yeah, it's about 36 seconds before. Yeah, no, that's correct. This is the correct target time, and this is the actual target node time correctly. So the warp 2, this line here is not correct. Something here is wonky. Something here is not behaving the way that I expect it to. So we got to look through the documentation here and find out what is going on here. What I'm curious is, why did it work the other way originally? Wonky, yeah, exactly. What's up, Solo? How you doing, buddy? We are doing our kOS playthrough. So in our playthrough rules, we're playing with your standard hard mode difficulty in KSP. A little bit actually harder. I ticked the science and funds a little bit further down from there even. But their gameplay rules are anything out of the Kerbin system. So out even past Mun and Minmus. Either needs a pilot or must be done with kOS. Like anything uncrewed beyond Kerbin has to be done with kOS. And we're planning an Eve mission right now. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to send, and we're going to do the burn normally ourselves, just fine with MechJev or whatever, to get to Eve. But to stop it even orbit, we have to write the code for it. And we're troubleshooting some basic stuff right now. Python's so bitchy. Python's bitchy about like white spaces and stuff, which is fine. I'm okay with it, but it can be bitchy about it. So I'm going to change the warp to command very slightly to match this syntax here. The math we're using for calculating a warp target is correct, but that somehow something breaking there. So that's the exact syntax we're going to match now. So let's come back over here. I've changed that over to this. It looked like it warped just fine before, so I'm going to be weirded out why this works if it does and it didn't before, but let's find out. Yeah, it is solo. Yeah, it is. It is. It should be fun, man. We haven't needed the that whole rule in a bit. I don't know. I suspect I actually have sort of an idea of what's going on. Let's see if I'm right. I think, even though I drag the maneuver around in the map view, I'm not sure that kOS is noticing that. So I think it was going off of the original start time of the burn, which, let's find out. I planned like some fake maneuver. See if it actually time warps correctly. Yeah, it did. So I think I've got to have the maneuver planned and ready. Yeah, because that did the time warp perfect right there. Absolutely perfect. Let's that's interesting that kOS is going off of the original start time for the burn. No, it knows the end warp. That part's the easy part. It's that it wasn't even starting the warp in the first place. But yeah, okay. So it goes off of the original node time. By dragging the node around on the map like this, if I go and let's exit the script and run it again, it's not going to time warp correctly. Or at least it wasn't. Let's see. Maybe that syntax change fixed it so we could still drag maneuvers around like that. Yeah, see? It's going off of, we're now 32 seconds past. So that code is only going off of the original time of the burn. Dragging it around the map view doesn't change what kOS is looking at. That's really interesting. So let's see if we can find out why in the kOS documentation. I've just confirmed my theory. Now we got to figure out why that's the case. Universal time of this maneuver. See, that's what we're reading, is the universal time of the maneuver. Probably caching, maybe. Yeah, maybe. The way the game engine handles what it stores as the... See, like, kOS is hitting this, right? This is some function exposed by the game's code underneath everything. So the game engine itself is caching this somehow with the original maneuver, and kOS is pulling the original maneuver's time. If I move the maneuver around on the orbit, then it's not pulling it correctly. Taradra! How's it going, buddy? Taradra, welcome in. Taradra, how many more times did you flip it since I was giving you shit for that earlier? When you flipped your truck at the goddamn garage of all places. Like, how did this happen? Nice, Taradra, nice. Thank you for the follow, Bueller. How's it going, man? Welcome in, Taradra Raiders. My name is GrabShark. Historically, I play games mostly having to do with space. The main outlier there would be Escape from Tarkov. I kind of pepper that in whenever I feel like streaming some Escape from Tarkov. But usually it's, historically it's been Kerbal Space Program. I put most of my streaming time into that game. I've played that game coming up on 10,000 hours. I don't know where exactly I'm at, but closer to that than further away from it. I put a lot of time into that game over the years. This game, I should say. I've also been playing some Starbase recently. I am hardcore addicted to that game. I'm not... I put a bad amount of time into it since I bought the game, let's put it that way. But normally with KSP, I play what's called Realism Overhaul. So it's a real fat stack of mods. There's a lot going on with that. Ask me questions if you're not sure what Realism Overhaul is. But what this is a lightly modded, no gameplay mods are really, so it's mainly just visual helper stuff. But the only real gameplay mod I have is called Kerbal Operating System. And what it is it lets you write code to do things in your game. So right now what we're working on is code to execute a maneuver. So when you look at your little burn time indicator down there and it tells you when the burn is, what the burn time is, when to start the burn, basically what I'm doing is I have these gameplay rules in my hard mode non-realism overhaul save that I'm doing now. Any mission that does not have a pilot that goes beyond Kerbin, so Mun and Minmus are okay, but outside of Kerbin, interplanetary, without a pilot, must be done with kOS. Even if it's got Kerbals on board, that could technically, I could tell the crap to do something with my keyboard, I still have to write the code to do it. So what we're doing is an EVE mission. Basically the mission profile is, I'm going to get the probe into orbit around Kerbin, we're going to set up the burn, we're going to get out to EVE, we're going to do the burn to get to EVE. I'll do that all myself, right? Or with my normal methods, without kOS, I should say. And then we're also going to plan the maneuver for the satellite to capture orbit at EVE ourselves. After we do our burn to get there, we're still in the Kerbin system. My gameplay rules still allow me to set up maneuvers. Once we leave the Kerbin system with the probe, I can't do anything with it. So I'm writing the code to execute the capture burn maneuver when the probe gets to EVE. I'm writing the code to do that now. Later, Shaws. Have a good night, buddy. Running Sandy, I'll be right back. Sounds good, man. I'm afraid to buy Starbase. I know I'd lose a few days real quick. Entropy, that's the freaking realest thing you've ever said to me, man. It will suck time away from you in like a really good way. It is super fun. It has some similarities to games like Space Engineers, Stationeers, with some EVE Online sprinkled on top. And it's nothing like any of those games at the same time. It's a really fun game, dude. I strongly recommend it. I'm having a lot of fun playing that game. So where we're at now, let me show you guys a little bit where all this code is. So this is kind of the amount of code that we've written so far today. This function I pulled off somebody else's GitHub. That involves some more advanced stuff that I'm just not ready for yet. But I use that function to calculate a certain value that I needed, which is the burn time of the burn. Now, let me show you guys where the script currently is. So let me just plan some fake maneuver with this satellite. Like right here, for example. Okay, and then I'm gonna go run maneuver. What it's gonna do is it's now locking. I'm not touching anything. It's locking onto the maneuver vector. It waits a few seconds for SAS to kind of lock on. And then it time warps to 30 seconds before we need to start the burn. So it calculates the burn time. It knows when the node is. And see, now start burn 27, 26, 25, 24. So now it targets the time warp to exactly 30 seconds before we have to start the burn. And that's where the script is right now. It's where all that code is. So now basically what we got to do is when the time equals the burn time start that we got to do, we'll light the engines, set throttle to 100 basically or whatever. And then once the delta V of the maneuver is done and hits 0 delta V required, then we turn off the engines. And that's the maneuver, right? So that's kind of where we're at now. But the rest of it should be fairly easy, I think. Almost 600 hours in Starbase since early access. I don't know where it went. Dude. I have a full-time job, and I got it. I think Steam will tell me my purchase date. Let me go look. I almost don't want to see. But let me go see here. View purchase history. Starbase. I bought Starbase on August 19th. Okay. So that was 2.5 weeks ago. And I have 130 hours in the game already. Now, there have been times where I've left it running. So, minus 20 hours from that by accidentally leaving it running. Or something like that. I think there's actually been several nights where I left it running overnight. So, knock off a chunk because of that. But still, man, I've been playing the tits out of that game, man. It's so fun. It is very addicting. It is super, super addicting. Blink twice. I can stop anytime I want, man. No, but the game is really fun. The game is very fun. Okay, so let's go back into here. Now that we're at this point, your face is super duper ad? What? Thank you for the follow. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Now, you guys should definitely get Starbase. Hashtag not an ad. It's super fun. It is a very fun game. Cockley, got it. Okay. Oh, Thomas, nice find. I just saw Thomas ban one of those like Haas 00 number bullshit hate raid people. How'd you find that one, Thomas? I didn't even see that as a follow alert. Did you just see it in the followers list or something? Or the recent activity? Nice find. User list, got it, okay. Thank you, sir. Let me see something here. Print time seconds. Let's make sure this is ticking forward like we think. Yeah, so that is actually our current time. All right, perfect. So basically what we want the code to do is wait until time seconds equals the actual burn time, right? So let's go check the kOS documentation real fast. So I think it's like throttle. It's gonna be like set throttle to something, I believe. No, not exactly. It's gonna be under not vessels and parts, but more so like control of the craft. Flight control, that's what we're looking for. Lights, brakes, gear. Where are we at? No, go. It's probably under raw control, maybe. No, under cooked control, I believe. Let's see. We're looking for like throttle or something. Hold on, let's just search for it on here. Lock throttle to blank. So it's a number between 0 and 1. Okay, so lock throttle to 1. What's up, G-Funky? Yeah, it's kind of Python-ish. It's hard to explain. kOS is definitely kind of its own thing, but I suppose. So then let's say lock throttle to 1. Wait till next node. I think, oh, you guys didn't see that. Sorry about that. What I just did was added this. Lock throttle to 1. Wait until next node delta V magnitude, which is the actual delta V. Because this, if I didn't put that mag, this would return the XYZ vector, right? Magnitude converts that to our actual delta V in the burn. So we're going to wait until the maneuver delta V is then 0. And then we just say lock throttle to 0. Basically turn off the engine. So let me actually send this over to the KSP folder. And we're actually going to test a maneuver now with this. Okay. Let's plan just a small maneuver. I'm using an old communication satellite that we left up here. Let's plan like 120 delta V maneuver or something. Let's kill this for a second. It's kind of letting RCS settle. Now we're warping to 30 seconds before we have to start the burn. All right. Time warp complete, preparing for maneuver. G-Funky, how's prep for hockey season coming, man? I don't think that the logic is correct here. Yeah, so it's past the start burn time. I think my wait until command is incorrect. That is what's obvious to me here. So this right here, wait until next node delta V mag equals 0. Or even this right here. This doesn't seem right. So what we need to do is go check the documentation for the wait command for kOS and figure out what I'm doing wrong there. What if I want to do a wait though? Until x is greater than 40. I mean, that seems right. Does it need to be a double equal? No, it's a Boolean operator. It's just a single equal sign. So the code should be accurate. Should be. Being the keyword. Oh, that's interesting. That's a desktop capture, I believe. Why is that not capturing correctly? There we go. That was weird. Anyway. Just had a hockey tournament, got second yesterday. Nice, dude. Good job. Interesting. Hold on a second here. When Soyuz? Yeah, you will, Compwiz. Yeah, because what at least this code right here is doing is wait until the current time equals the time we start the burn. Eventually, that's going to equal itself exactly, because that's the exact moment we want to start the burn. And then we'll turn on the engines, lock throttle to 1, wait until the delta V of the burn eventually equals 0. It eventually will, or else it'll just keep burning. What I don't know is why this isn't because we are hitting this line, because it did print in the console up here, so we know we're hitting line 66 there. It's the wait until. That's got to be the syntax break. I'm just going to say until time seconds equals target. And we'll change that one down there as well. I don't think wait until is the correct syntax. I think that's what it is. Okay. Let's see. I got that. Let's make sure we save it. Oops, no. No. You go away. All right, let me go dump that new version into the folder that kOS looks at. Let's hide this for a hot second, and let's go plan a burn and do it. When Soyuz? So you guys want me to do the Soyuz mission in SnowRunner? You want me to build one in this game? Specify what you want here. Let's see what we get. Hello there. What's up, Hamady Sandwich? How you doing? Nearly achieved a kilometer per second in your X1. Jesus, Kurama. That is quite the X1. General Kenobi. Hmm. Ten seconds till the burn. Yeah, it's still braking. It's not actually doing anything. Because it should be locking throttle to 1 and turning on the engines. So let's go back into the code for a second. Here's what we're going to do. All right, let me transfer that over. We're going to start printing to the console the time until the burn. What are you doing, step wait loop? Stuck in a wait loop at line 69. See, it shouldn't though, because the time seconds will eventually equal the target warp time. It has to eventually equal that by definition. But yeah, we're calculating time to burn. Oh, okay, look at that. So time to burn is actually going up. That doesn't make sense. So that math that we just added, why is that pulling increasingly positive numbers? Hold on. Let me switch those around real quick. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that something's weird here. Something's definitely weird. Because it is printing the correct values for this. Node is at this and burn is at this. So why is it printing out a negative number? I mean, I get why it's printing a negative number. Let me adjust the print statements here a little bit. Let's say time now is just time seconds. Oh, I'm dumb because warp target is not it. It's not warp target. That's why. I'm stupid. I realize it now. I was doing all the math for when we want to warp to, not the actual maneuver time. I feel a little stupid at the moment. So hold on here. Set node time. We're actually going to say burn time to. We want all this logic here. Yeah, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. No wonder. That explains everything. Explains it all. Just like Clarissa. Talk about a frickin' 90s reference. Okay, there we go. So then we want burn time. Wait until time seconds equals burn time. I'm done. I'm done. Oh, man. Okay, let's do this. That is 100% it. It was a condition that was never being met. Because we were already past the target warp time, not the actual burn time. Big dumb. It was a big dumb moment. It was a big dumb moment. We're already locked onto the vector, so it's just going to do its thing. It's going to time warp. Just stick that over there for a minute. $24 time until burn. I'll clean up the printing here. I did something weird with the printing math, but that's not really needed, so. Yeah, the printing math is not what's important. That's fine. But it's still not actually locking the throttle. Why? Let's bring this back over here. Until time seconds equals burn time. Burn time is this. So that logic is already correct. Warp target is already good. We can't run crisis. All right, let's kill that for a second. Let's figure out why this is doing that. So time seconds equals burn time. So if burn time here, so here is the maneuver burn time divided by 2. Okay. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Burn. Start time. I'm going to make this variable a little clearer. We're also going to fix the logic. So it actually needs to be that. So burn start time is going to be the maneuver time minus half of the burn time, because we want to split 50% before, 50% after. And then so the target warp is then 30 seconds before that. Okay. Burn start time. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And I'm actually even wondering if my lock throttle command is correct as well. It might need to be set throttle, I don't know. That's a good one, Royer. Yeah, we'll do that in just a second. If this doesn't work. I suspect this will work, but that is actually the next step for sure. Let's see what we get. The throttle to 50. It's from 0 to 1.0. That's kind of the syntax that it's looking for. It might be set, it might be lock, I don't know. Well, it's calculating time until burn now. That's correct. Well, that's helpful. So now we know it'll execute the lock throttle. It's got to be set. It's got to be set throttle and not lock throttle. We know that we're calculating the burn time correctly now. Well, wait a second. No. No, we are stuck in the wait loop. Because it started getting negative prints. So we're never exiting the loop. Less than or equal to 0. We actually want it to be greater than or equal to 0. But yeah, I think the equals, it's skipping over it in a tick of the game's calculations or something. Thinking of the countdown timer, right. Well, I could be using the actual countdown timer as the logic check, potentially. Oh, Karama, me too, man. I always do parachutes because I suck at landing planes in this game. Like, I get the basics. It's not that I don't understand, like, how to flare and, you know, where to have your center of mass, center of lift and stuff. There it is. It doesn't turn off the throttle. But it started the burn. It started the burn. It didn't stop the burn. So here's what we're gonna do. This is where it went wrong right here. Because the maneuver, delta V, reaches a certain amount, it's never actually gonna hit 0. What we can do is tell it to execute till below some very small value. So what we can say is until the delta V magnitude is less than or equal to 0.5 delta V. So half a delta V. Because it will reach out, or even 0.2. 0.2 will be our maneuver tolerance there. We don't have a lot of delta V to play with left in the satellite, so let's do like a 30 or 40 delta V burn. Let's clear screen, run maneuver. Let's see what we get. So lock throttle is actually correct. That's interesting. You guys are big nerds. That's true. You damn right we are. I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, Radar. Hope you're having a good day, man. Nice. Yeah, so I think what we'll do, Radar, you have actually a great idea earlier, throttling down when we get closer to the end of the burn. That's what we're going to do here. So let's go back into the code and let's add some logic for that. Let's say when delta V is 5, We'll just stop it there. Lock throttle to 0.5. Let's actually make this like 15 delta V. Then we'll knock it down to half throttle. And then below 10, we'll do 0.25. And below 5, maybe we'll do 0.15. Do little bits of throttling down like that. No, it's not too much. No. See link for a thick plane? Let's see it. I've seen that. You showed that to me yesterday. It's good. Okay, so this is like a gradual throttle down, essentially. But we are running out of delta V in this satellite. Which is kind of the funny thing here. See, the thing is, this is such a freaking long burn time, man. Let me, let's knock down the thrust limit on this significantly. That way we have some time to play with here. So that's 12 seconds. That's 12 seconds. Ah! Damn, Thomas, that sucks. Jesus Christ, man. That's it's a bit too much. A bit too much. All right, let's see what we get here with this extra code that we added for throttling down. 15 delta V, we reduce throttle by half. At 10, we go down to 0.25. At 5, we go down to 0.15. And then less than 0.2 delta V, we just kill the throttle. Okay, looking good. At 15 delta V, we should reduce our throttle. Perfect. Okay, it's a little aggressive. It is a little aggressive on the throttle down for sure. But it works. It works. Yeah, Frosties, it's definitely a thing, man. It is definitely a thing. So that worked perfectly. It was a little aggressive on the throttle down with the how short the burn was in the first place and how much delta V it was. We probably eventually want to do like percentages of TWR, delta V, or whatever, right? But you know what? It works for now. Good enough. The actual burn time of the probe that actually reaches Eve is going to be much longer, higher delta V. So that's an okay throttle down for this. Eventually, we're gonna want, like I said, to do like percentages and kind of have it be more one size fits all. But for this real small test burn, you know, it's not really appropriate. Thank you for the follow, Frosties. Welcome in, buddy. Yeah, actually, the extension for that on VS Code is I'll show it to you. What's the freaking extensions? Yeah, you literally just search kOS. Is that an Alien reference? I watched that movie fairly recently. I don't recognize the reference if it is. Okay, we're running out of Delta V on this guy. Do we have anything else in orbit that we can kind of screw around with? We have the old KCOM constellation. The 2-point constellation I want to maintain. Let's go hop into one of like KCOM 4, for example. Let's go hop in it and let's go do some more testing just to make sure, absolutely sure we are good to go. Unfortunately here, the Delta V on this. Oh, well, the actually interesting thing here is, yeah, it's only 71 Delta V, but the burn time is really long. So this actually wouldn't be a terrible thing to test with. Let's do a burn right here. Ooh, this is going to be, that would be a very long burn though. Because it would have to do a lot of, let's see what we got around MUN. Do we do anything meaningful here? I don't know if we have any orbiters here. What about Minmus? I think we've got more here. Minpal, do you have fuel still? With the down throttling. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Later, Funky. Have a good night, man. No fuel here. That's right. Oh yeah, we had to dock to it to move it to a different orbit. I remember now. Let's see. I kind of see. I feel like I want to do some more testing with this before we actually push it into the production mission. So let's launch. Let's say. Some kind of Minmus orbiter mission or something to have Delta V to play with or something. Let's go see what we got. Oh, here is the Eve probe. I still need to add solar panels and stuff onto it. But that's it. Come back and finish that off and actually fly the mission in a little bit. Or Delta V and burn time here. 867 Delta V with a 5-minute burn time. That's actually perfect. That'll give us plenty. So let's just launch the crap out of this thing. And lovely fairings, being the great fairings that they are. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Let's go. I'm sure it's a grower. Oh no. Oh no. You didn't. You did though, but you didn't. Okay, we did recently unlock MechJev Ascent guidance, which is awesome. Very, very handy. I don't know what the settings would be for this rocket though. I assume yeah, I have no idea what the proper settings would be for this vehicle. What's the current plan? So we're launching a test satellite to just do some extra confirmation testing because we ran out of Delta V in the satellite I was using to test. We're going to reconfirm this code with this test satellite we're flying up just to be on the ultra safe side. Once we've done that, we're going to finish off making the Eve probe and make sure it's got all the fuel and everything that it needs and fricking send it. And we're going to do that mission tonight. We're going to finish it tonight. We're on track. But we first got to launch this damn test satellite, so let's see what we can get. I hope these were good settings on this launch ascent guidance. Oh, that's an old command, radar. Thomas, if you're here, if you could disable that mods command. We're not really using a lot of gameplay mods. We're using kOS for the scripting, and then basic like MechJeb, Kerbal Engineer, Tracking Station Evolved, visual mods if I didn't say that already. X Science, so I don't have to go click every little science experiment on the vessel manually. I can just, it gives me a list of them. Click through blocker, resonant orbit calculator, antenna helper. So no like big gameplay things other than kOS. When Outer Planets mod is ready for 1.12.2, I will be adding that because I've never played with it and it seems really fun. But it's not ready for 1.12.2 yet, so I do not have it yet. I can only remove the entire thing. That's fine. Just nuke it. I'm okay with that. Thank you, sir. We have a fairly low TWR per stage, so typos. It's okay, man. It's okay. It is all gravy, baby. All right, it's coasting up to apogee now. I could have done a sharper turn for sure, I think. Imagine being a sentient AI and making typos. I know, it's like he's like not even trying, man. Not even trying. Okay. Let's let MechJeb finish circularizing. And then we're just going to do a series of burn tests to make sure we get what we want. Boom. All right. So, let's say at perigee here, we're going to do a big old fat burn. Yeah, that's a healthy burn. Okay. Where's our probe core in here? Open terminal. Okay, switch to 0, clear screen, run maneuver. I need to change the default font size for this when I'm streaming it. Gonna leave the stage on orbit. I'll go back and deorbit it. It's got a probe core to do it. Oh, RCS is way too aggressive here. I'll remember to turn that off for certain things. Rocket, what's up, buddy? How's it going, dude? Welcome in, guys. We are testing some kOS code that we just wrote today on stream. And we're testing kOS code to execute maneuvers at the moment. So we spent the time today writing all of this because we have some special gameplay rules. I'll tell them to you guys here in just a quick second. Rocket, tell us about your stream. How was Star Citizen today? And there's the burn. Let's make sure. So what we've done, guys, is we have some special gameplay rules where we're playing your standard hard mode difficulty. I even turned the science and money rewards down a little bit further. Anything with no pilot Kerbal or beyond, basically anything beyond the Kerbin system. Mon minimus everything. Anything beyond the Kerbin system that does not have a pilot on board. So engineers and scientists, or uncrewed missions beyond the Kerbin SOI must be done with kOS code. So right now we're about to do an interplanetary mission, the first one of the save, and therefore we're going to have to do a burn to make orbit at the other planet. So we've written all of this code today. What I'm testing now is the very end. All that until next node, blah, 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 lock throttle, all this bottom stuff, it's going to throttle down towards the end of the burn. And that's what we're testing right now. So I'm just making sure that the throttle is actually decreasing towards the end of the burn like it's supposed to. It's a really aggressive throttle down. I think we'll have to modify it for, future real big use, but I think for now it's fine. It's totally fine. It works. And it's throttling down appropriately. It should turn off the engines about now. Yep. And it did. Perfect. Nice. Troll Sama, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's challenging, but it's fun. Ultrasaurus, hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. Ultrasaurus, how's your hard mode going on SnowRunner? Have you finished? It sounded like you were getting pretty damn close. Just landed on the runway. Nice, nice. Still have to use chutes to slow down, but hey. Dude, when I do realism overhaul planes, Karama, I do parachute landings. I don't do runway landings because I suck at flying planes. I'm just not good at it. I know how, I'm just bad at it. So it happens, man. Star Citizen's been all-consuming as of late. Yeah, dude, I've been noticing you've been doing like some pretty cool missions like salvaging or bounty hunting or something. You were like doing some stuff with a buddy or a bunch of buddies, and it looked like you guys pulled up next to some other salvage ship, and you pulled up next to it in your ship, and you were transferring a bunch of material over from the ship you were salvaging or something. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool, man. I was watching that the other day. Is there a kOS command to remove the maneuver node once it's at 0.2? Let's go find out. Let's check the documentation. All right. Oh, yeah. Remove. Easy. The game kind of broke last stream. Game wasn't saving, so we lost 6 hours of gameplay last night. No! No! Did you recover your save? Oh, no. That's... Oh, no. That's terrifying. I hope you got it working. Oh no. That terrifies me. That actually scares me. That's why I use like Google Drive backups for like my KSP save, because I'm terrified. Like I've lost KSP saves in the past, and I refuse to be like stuck like that again. So I do Google Drive backups and stuff now. I pay for like a bunch of Google Drive storage to have redundancy in a way. The save wasn't completely borked. It's still safe from our last time playing. Turns out Steam Cloud was the issue. I almost cried on the stream. Oh my god, I would have been devastated. I would have probably like I could probably go back into the VOD and watch how you handled it, and guarantee you probably handled it better than I would have. I would have been emotionally upset about it. Yeah, Karama, that's the thing with those cockpits, is they don't go above a certain altitude. So you gotta be careful. You're gonna kill the Kerbal in there. So yeah, it's just remove the node. So what we can actually do... Yeah, oh, that's easy. Yeah, we literally just have to say remove next node. So let's go back over to VS Code. Done. Yeah, that's it. That's all we needed to do. I want to run a couple more test maneuvers of the code. So let's go run a few more maneuvers and test. It's looking pretty dang good, though. Let's do a circularization burn here. Okay. That's a good idea, Radar. Yeah. So we got to optimize some stuff here with the maneuver execution. We definitely need to have a dynamic throttle down based on burn time, TWR, delta V. Right now, it's just a hard-coded, like at this much delta V, lock throttle to here. So we'll definitely want to kind of dynamicize that. We want to clean up the maneuvers after it. Probably fine-tune the maneuver tolerance to even lower. With a better throttle down system, we could retune the throttle down to cut off at much closer to 0. 0.2 delta V is still pretty damn small, but I think we can do better and still have it be okay. But I would want a better, more dynamic throttle down portion of the script. But yeah, let's just make sure and observe here. At 15 delta V left, we cut throttle in half, and then a few steps under that, we cut throttle even more. You know what, Radar? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's go see. We can see in the maneuver node down there that it's looking good. I like that. I think we're ready to fly. I think it was under cooked control. Oh, yeah. Okay. I know why. That's fine. It doesn't say, it's a floating point number. It's not like, so if it's a floating point, then we could theoretically have 0.015 or whatever. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can get pretty crazy with it, man. You can actually get pretty crazy with it. You excited for the sequel? Absolutely, Digital Design. Hell yeah. I think this is the best game of all time. Not to downplay some other really great games, man, but I'm very excited for the second one. I'm hopeful for it, but I'm okay with waiting. I think a lot of people these days get way too impatient, and people need to be more comfortable with waiting for stuff for it to be good. I think it's actually kind of exciting that they're able to wait. They had a delay instead of pushing it out before it's ready. What that tells me is They have the administrative capability, like whoever their bosses aren't forcing them to shovel out some unfinished bullshit. And they have the financial capability to delay, pay staff, and all that stuff to wait for it to be better. I think in a weird way, it's actually good. It's exciting that they were able to delay it because they didn't think that it was ready. COVID screwed them up, for sure. Having talked to the developers before, COVID screwed them up. Some organizations, as like a general statement, did okay with COVID, some didn't. COVID screwed them up for KSP2 development. But now that KSP1 development's mostly done, they weren't going to originally, but a lot of the KSP1 team has moved on to KSP2. Not all of them, but some of them have. So that's exciting. You know, it's good. It's exciting. It's good to see. Sounds good, Ultrasaurus. I'm glad you got your stuff. I was really worried there for a minute. Floating point means everything between 0 and 1. Copy that. Yep, I know. Better to wait a little longer and have another game that holds up for 10 years, right? Exactly. I'm more in the boat to make sure it's right because I'm tired of half-baked games. You and me both, man. I've been around the gaming world for too long to have patience for shitty games, man. So that's why I keep coming back to Kerbal, dude. It's so goddamn good. I played this game almost as long as it's been out. So probably 10 years now, roughly. A little less than 10 years, maybe. I've put close to 10,000 hours in the game. Not maybe exactly 10,000. Somewhere between like 7 and 10 is my guess. After I've kind of gone through and did the mental math for it a bunch of times. And nothing comes close to creating this experience. Nothing. Not even close. Still have yet to do an interplanetary mission. Thank you for the segue. Thank you for the segue. Let's freaking do it, man. We got to finish designing this Eve mission, which we'll do now, of course. The delta V for capture is something like 1,000 or a little more, roughly. We gotta just make sure the probe has the right amount of delta V. We gotta make sure it has solar power and stuff. You sort of CS Digital. The mod is called kOS, Kerbal Operating System. It's a mod that's been around Kerbal Space Program for a very long time. But it's excellent. It allows you to code in the game. It's very cool. Very, very cool. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff with kOS. I have a script that automatically docks 2 vessels together. That's a thing. See, our antennas deploy like so. Our hinge deploys this instrument like so. And then we've got this hinge as well that deploys the other instruments. So once we get this thing into orbit, we'll use the robotics to deploy all this stuff. And yeah. It's a mod, correct, CS, yeah. I love how tiny and cute those RTS thrusters are, right? Right? But yeah. So with our gameplay rules, for those of you who didn't hear my spiel on how we're doing this, anything that is within the home planet system, including its moons, we can play the game like normal. If it goes beyond the Kerbin system, like even past the moons and everything, we're out of the gravitation of the home planet. If it goes out of the Kerbin system and does not have a pilot on board, we must use the kOS mod to do stuff in the mission. So this probe, we're going to have the control over it to send it where it needs to go, to do the initial rocket burn to get it there. But once the probe actually floats and leaves the Kerbin system, then we're stuck with kOS. That's it. So Yeah, we're gonna plan its capture burn before it leaves the system because we still have control over it. But once it gets to the planet we're sending it to, we got to run the script so it captures and enters orbit at the planet. Sort of. It's more of a gameplay difficulty that I'm adding for myself. But I didn't think about it in that way. But yeah, you can consider it like a light lag kind of thing for sure. Okay, now we need to get this thing integrated onto a rocket. Why is that not shrouding the engine? That's weird. Okay, that's fine. I really want that to shroud the engine. Why is it not doing that? Yeah, the shroud's enabled. Why is it not popping? Oh, I think it's because the type, maybe? There we go. Okay. All right. So we got solar panels. We got antenna power that we know for sure can reach. We've got RCS fuel. We've got all our science instruments. We've got our contract to go do this. And this is the Jarvis probe. So, and we are only massing at about 2.8 tons. So let's grab our big rocket, which should be the Jeff, I believe. I'm actually not even sure we're going to need the Jeff, really. Let's actually load up the Grav Express. I think the Grav Express can do this. Oh, this is the wrong version of it. Where's the Grav Express with the... Here we go. This one actually should be it, yeah. Oh, dang, okay, hold on. Let me actually save this as the Grav Express. Just as is. We'll root part that. Let's save it. Let's go back into Jarvis and open that. And we'll just merge the rocket in. Like so. Boom. Wait, does that fit perfectly? No way. Look at that. Oh my god. That actually really worked out. Nice. Yeah, exactly, digital. Yeah. That's why things tend to move slow with those kinds of missions. Because that is a real thing that they got to deal with, man. Definitely a real thing they got to deal with. So we'll get to orbit with some fuel left over. And then the probe will do the rest. Nice. Okay. Hell yeah. All right. So this thing is ready. Let's frickin' do it, man. This is exciting. Been building up to this for a bit now, this mission. I was curious because I got into Starbase and they have a scripting language in there for coding stuff. Also, I play Space Engineers, also has coding. Yeah, I've been playing the balls out of Starbase, man. I've had the game for a couple of weeks and I've already got over 100 hours in the game. I do think a lot of that's idle time, like me leaving the game running by accident. So realistically, it's a lot less, but still, I have a bad amount of hours in that game, dude. Yeah, that would be crazy, digital. That would be transformative for humankind. That's for damn sure, man. That would be wild, obviously. So let's go ahead and launch into the target plane. I feel like we probably want to start the turn a little earlier. Don't auto deploy the solar panels or antennas. Thank you very much. That should be good. I'll do that later, Uncle Radar. We can definitely do that anytime. Okay. Couple seconds to launch. Let's go. Yeah, digital, that would be nuts. Like, even if we sent some kind of solar sail probe to Alpha Centauri, for example, the information would take years just to reach us. That's insane. Just thinking of the timescales involved there is mind-boggling, to say the least. There's a really interesting book for any of you sci-fi book nuts called Aurora by Kim Stanley Robinson. He's the same author who wrote the Mars trilogy, where it's Red Mars, Blue Mars, Green Mars, which is a very, very, very realistic look at Mars colonization and what it could actually be like in terms of science, politics, human psychology, and all that stuff. Very interesting book, Aurora. It's about a colony ship going to Tau Ceti. And with the extreme distances in light years to Tau Ceti, even just sending a message back to Earth, takes years and years because of the distances involved. It's pretty crazy. And that factor of time, itself is like a character in the story. It's pretty cool. Remote tech mod? Nah, I don't want to play with that. If I'm going to use any antenna mod, I'm going to use real antennas, which is a much better mod in my opinion. It's a bit newer than remote tech. I usually play what's called RealismOverhaul Kerbal Space Program. So RealismOverhaul is a huge, huge, huge pack of mods, and it's a mod itself, but that's a whole other conversation. RealismOverhaul used to use remote tech, so I'm very familiar with it. I used remote tech for years, actually, with RealismOverhaul. And real antennas came out. It's much better. It's much more realistic. But you're role-playing, in a way, the probe core on the probe rather than mission control. Remote tech, you're kind of, in a way, role-playing mission control. So you're subject to light delay and stuff, which is a really cool feature of remote tech. I will give it that. But real antennas, you're kind of more role-playing the actual probe itself, so you have instant control over stuff. It is overall much better. We need quantum entanglement telegraphs before we go interstellar. What is a quantum entanglement telegraph? I have a good grasp on physics, but I've never heard of that. Just finished the 2 episodes of the Inspiration 4 thing. Dude, Mason, wasn't it awesome? It was so good. It was so good, man. I was super impressed with it. I was very impressed with that. Yeah, me too, Frosties. I've been playing RealismOverhaul for many years. And I played a lot of years of remote tech, like a lot of them. Yeah, Star Trek actually got a lot right, man. It's kind of funny. There's a lot that it didn't get right, obviously, but people don't give it enough credit for how much it actually did correctly, man. Okay. Yeah, stage has a probe core, so we'll be able to deorbit it later. All right, let's deploy. Oops, no. We don't want to traverse right up. We want this to do that. So that instrumentation panel is deploying. Let's deploy that as well. Why is that not turning? What's going on here? Not locked. Not a damping thing. It's not the motor. Not a power thing. That's interesting. Oh, you know what we didn't do is actually add extra batteries. There's only 10 electric charge points here. I am going to use my once per week. I'm going to go ahead and burn it here just to add some batteries to this thing. I revert only once per week. So we're going to do that and just add some extra batteries. We are definitely going to need those. The theoretical idea that uses two quantum entangled particles reactions to effectively mimic Morse code. I heard about that. There's some research into something similar to that, I think. Thank you, Sandwich, for the stretch break. That was a good one. Now, I also want to figure out why this wasn't wanting to turn. Everything looks right. Maybe it's just clipped too far in or something. Just put this higher up. I guess. And I actually want to put these batteries inside. Wait, can I? Yeah, we can. We can. But we're going to put them a little off axis here so they're not in the way of other stuff. Just like that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, let's put the rocket back on. I really don't like how the fairing down here deletes itself. That I don't understand why that happens. I think it has to do with like how the paste in or something like that happens. The hinge and symmetry, no. Might have been an auto strut thing. Let's double check auto struts on that. Auto strut was grandparent part, so I've now disabled it. Now I'll disable it on the actual part as well. We'll deal with the auto struts. I think we can change those in flight, right? I've got myself disabling auto struts on everything now because I'm worried. Cool. Okay. Everything's good. Everything's good. Yeah, thank you, Frosty. I was trying to do something unique. So everything kind of deploys out of the center there. That's the idea. Do we test the robotics at the launch pad? Yeah, I probably can. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's a great idea, actually. Let's do that. Kind of look into the fairing and do it that way. That's true, Digital. That's true. I mean, you look at SpaceX landing rockets, people said that was supposed to be impossible. Their loophole is their god-tier engine that they developed. Yep, okay. One of those fixes did it. I don't know what, but one of the fixes fixed it. So it's good to go. Let's go. An accidents in a lab? Yeah, like Silly Putty. I think the guy who invented Silly Putty was trying to invent like an industrial adhesive or something, and accidentally invented Silly Putty instead. There's a lot of like accidental stuff like that that was invented for other reasons. I turned the sharper angle on the turn here as well, so we get a bit of a better efficient descent. Serious putty is way more fun though. Wait, was it not an industrial adhesive? Was he trying to create like an explosion putty of some kind? Lots of chemistry as accents, that's fair. The guy who first synthesized LSD, or acid, there's a day before 420 on April 19th called Bicycle Day. Apparently, from what I'm told, I read this once, Bicycle Day, I don't remember the details here, is like the day that everyone takes all their psychedelics or something, and then everyone gets stoned off of weed on 420, whatever, right? But it's called Bicycle Day because the guy who first synthesized LSD had like one of the initial batches, he had some of it in his pocket on like the little squares or whatever. And he was riding his bike around, and apparently his sweat soaked into the bag, and that soaked the stuff into his leg, and the guy got like totally like, you know. So Bicycle Day is apparently a thing. That's like an accident of chemistry. Looking good. Where are we at? 40? Yeah, we can go ahead and pop the stage's antenna. Olive chemistry, I mean, that's true. If you think about chemical reactions, it really is technically accidental collisions between particles. That's what a chemical reaction is. And movement of electrons from different nuclei, but that's a whole nother thing. Sean Carroll's podcast on YouTube. TLDR, Mason? What you got? Speaking of, show me what you got. What do you guys think about this live action Rick and Morty that's happening? What do you guys think about that? Really, Thomas? That's interesting. We are entering Kerbin orbit. Live action Rick and Morty. Yeah, like that's going to be a thing. It looks like they picked the perfect people for it. It depends on the execution of the actual thing, but I couldn't imagine anybody else acting those roles now. Most, yeah, not all, but you're right. You're right. Deploy the main antennas. Oh, that was a lot faster than I wanted that to be, but that's okay. Deploy the instrumentation panel. Ah, I forgot to turn down the traverse rate on those. That's fine. That's okay. That's cool, Mason. There was this one YouTuber when I was still a high school physics teacher. The kids would always ask us, like, "Hey, Mr. Gravshark," I almost dropped my last name by accident there. "Hey, Mr. Gravshark," you know, they'd send me like a little message for Google Classroom, like, "Hey, I'm having trouble. I know you taught us this in class. Can you recommend a video or something?" And I would respond back with this one guy. I think his name was like Professor Dave or something on YouTube, and he explained physics concepts both at like the high school level and like way beyond that at very easy to understand terms and methods and stuff of describing it. So he was like a really solid YouTuber for that kind of stuff. I used to go by my first name when I taught, but I stopped doing that. When I was subbing, I went by just my first name. When I became a full-time teacher, put the kibosh on that real quick. Just deploying all the things. Nice. Okay. So we now need to set up our burn. Let's make sure we kept the name Jarvis. How old were the kids? Freshmen in high school, so about 15. Oh, really, Hamity? That's interesting. He kind of looked a little like Jesus, you know, long hair, beard, plaid. He was like a hipster guy. Now I gotta go look and see if I'm remembering the guy's name right. The channel's name is Professor Dave Explains. Professor Dave Explains. Oh, so he's like breaking down conspiracy crap about like science-y conspiracy theories. He's like telling people why they're bullshit kind of thing. Because I see some of his recent uploads seem to have to do with that. Interesting. Shut up, Spooky. Interesting to see what this guy's up to. It's been years since I was teaching, so I'm that's a rabbit hole I'll go down another day. See what his YouTube channel is going up to, because he used to just be about like the physics information videos, you know, that I would use in class, etc. So let's do the thing. Okay. So since we're still in the Kerbin system, we can use MechJeb to do things. So let's say we create this node, okay? Let's say we create this node. Where's Eve? So we get out to Eve. This node's about 1142 delta V, right? So we enter Eve. What's the atmosphere altitude at Eve? That's 90 kilometers. So 100 kilometers is a pretty low orbit. Let's actually say, let's do 125. Okay, so we're at 125 meters when we come in. If we want to circularize, roughly speaking, what kind of delta V are we looking at there? About 1300. Okay. Nice. We could also enter a highly elliptic orbit. Water is... Oh my god, Thomas, no. No. Take a goddamn physics class, Thomas, please. Don't make me rant about it again. No, I'm not even gonna start. Not even gonna start. Nope. If physics says it is. Moving on. So, looks like this burn takes about 1142 delta V, and then this one's gonna take about 1396. Which is close to our margins, but we don't necessarily need to fully circularize anyway. We can enter an elliptic orbit, which should be kind of cute. Right. That's how life works, actually, Thomas. I don't think a lot of people realize this, but that's exactly how life works. Okay, so I'm okay with that maneuver, but let's just delete it for now. Let's get out there first, and then we'll plan the maneuver once we have our exit trajectory. Let's put it that way. Here we go. We are about to do the burn. This man on the internet sums up Facebook pretty well. What's funny, man, is I'm gonna get a little ranty for a second here. The boomer generation, because I am not one, but they were the generation before me that raised me and my generation. They always told us when the internet was was starting to come up, you know, as a thing. That like half the world took part in. Don't believe everything you read on the internet, right? But now, that generation believes every goddamn bullshit thing they see shared on Facebook. Or some other bullshit, whatever site they're reading it from. They don't have like the critical thinking to evaluate information on the internet. And it's funny. It's funny how that all worked out. And I'm generalizing a lot, right? There's definitely people in both generations that don't fit those molds, okay? Let's be fair. But still, man, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. All right, we are on our way to Eve, guys, officially. We're going kind of off window, so it's taking a little more delta V than it should to get there, but whatever, it's fine. Solo, what? Having the internet for that long fries the brain cells. That's a hard stop. No, I think that's not accurate. I've spent most of my life diving into the internet. I watched it become what it is. I grew up at the start of the internet and watched it become what it is today over time. And yeah, no, I got plenty of brain cells left. Listening to Thomas tell me the water's not wet removes a lot of them every time, but I still got some in there. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that say, oh, you're a boomer just because you're older than them. But I'm only 30. I'm 32. That doesn't make me a boomer. Whatever, man. Who cares? Who cares? So Spooky, you're the one who said that word just now in your sentence, so doesn't that make you... Just saying. Boomer is definitely a thing. And no, it is literally like a definition of a very specific generation of people. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. But there's also the colloquial definition of the word now. And this is actually an interesting topic of linguistics and how language is formed over time. Thank you for the follow, Lunar. Welcome in. And welcome in, Throwaway, to you too. How you doing? Hamity. I wonder why that became the definition. I'll never know. Again, vast generalization, right? Not all of the people in that generation are that way. Let's give them some credit. Okay, we're a little off here. So let's do some RCS to fix our trajectory. Oh, I'm down coming in polar. Because that means we can means we can hit different biomes a lot easier. Okay. That's our trajectory going into Eve. Mason. Man, Asimov. Woo! Ooh! How to rock. Hey, what's up, buddy? Check this out, Asimov. Asimov. Check this out, How to Rock. Look at what we did today. We wrote a maneuver execution script. I had to pull someone's fancy math to calculate burn time for a maneuver off of their GitHub, but the rest of this stuff we wrote, and this executes, warps to a burn, everything, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we're about to use it right now to capture orbit at Eve. So let's do a quick save. And we're going to time warp. I'm not caring too much about time warping through missions. If it's more than like, if it's too excessive, of course we won't do it, but what you been up to, How to Rock? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, Hammy, that's true. The linguistics there. We got the burn planned. That's what that was. Oh shit, yeah, you're right. No, I thought I had it planned for some reason. I got the intercept planned. So let me fix that real quick. Just as like a I forgot to do it rule. So I'm okay with fixing that now. Let's do that. Thank you for reminding me. We barely literally just left the SOI and we're not time warping, so let's do this and do that. Okay, okay. We're good, we're good. Okay, now we'll actually time warp for the burn. And get out there. Because we're literally on the edge of the SOI right now still. Now, if I had forgotten to do it by the time we got there, I would not give that to myself. Like that. We are on our way. So Hamity, interesting point that you're making there, because I agree with you. Linguistics definitely changes over time. This is where, of course, I am going to reference The Expanse. So with the Belter language in The Expanse, they hired a couple of PhD, industry leader linguistics smart people, right? To develop the Belter language, to fit the lore of how they wrote the Belters becoming a thing in the story. They wrote the language to be a real language with actual grammar rules and everything. To be a real language, like it's a real thing. Okay, we are a day away from the burn. What we need to do now is turn off SAS. I forgot to turn that off, but that's fine. This doesn't matter. We don't get any controls of anything. All I can do is run the script. That's all we can do right now. So let's clear screen, switch to 0, run maneuver. "30 seconds to the burn, let's go." That was really sketchy with the time warp. That kind of terrified me, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Radar, I usually am the same way, but I'm just kind of testing this mission. I had to push a couple of streams. Normally I would let it transit there and we'll do other stuff while it's on its way. Burn started on time. Hell yeah. There we go, baby. But because I had to skip a few streams and we've been pushing this mission back, I decided to just warp through it. Normally I would not do that, and I would be on board with you on that for sure. All right, we've got the contract. Hell yeah. Digital, that's a conversation I don't want to get too far into, but there's, as an interesting sort of related point, I will say that the point of, let's say, like technology has been improving humanity's lives. And if that allows us, like, in one manifestation of that is allowing humanity to be more lazy, you know? And that can obviously be to a fault. Don't get me wrong. But technology was supposed to remove the mundane from our lives. You know what I mean? It has definitely become something else with the point that you're making. And in some ways I agree, in some ways I don't agree with the point that you're making. But I think that's also something to consider, though. You know what I mean? I'll never stop innovating until I get my Wally chair and endless Slurpees. Here we come. So at 15 Delta V, we should throttle down. There we go. And then we're throttling down further and further. And it killed the burn. Let's go, baby. We are in Eve orbit. I gotta fix the ending of that script so it doesn't blow up like that. But dude, we made it. We made it. Yes. Now we gotta write some kOS to actually run the experiments, but that'll be for another day. Hell yeah, dude. That is freaking awesome. Oh, just look at it. Just look at it. Ah! Eve is also freaking pretty too, man. Oh, man. That is so exciting. Brain computer interface implants for daily use. Neuralink, man, that's the start of that technology. Neuralink is going to be insane. It's going to be insane. They've already repaired genetic disorders and stuff like that in some tests, some animals that had, you know, disorders that were fixed by Neuralink, which is wild. Mason will know the details on that. Just imagine the flat earthers with that. Oh yeah. No, I remember. I forget when they did the most recent Neuralink presentation. Whatever. I think it was like some kind of like brain motor problem that a certain chimp was born with. They didn't like induce the problem, of course, because that would introduce some ethical problems in the testing. But it was like an ape or whatever, a chimp that already had the issue, and they installed Neuralink in the chimp's brain and fixed the issue. General Grievous style. But it's Xbox controllers or something, right? Instead of lightsabers. This is awesome. This is really awesome. The time warp was a little scary. I'll be honest with you, the time warp was a little scary. But that's freaking hype, dude. Yeah, digital, that's something I'll never understand, man, is why people want so hard to believe what they're seeing with their own eyes is not the truth. Like flat earthers and all that other crap. Like, I think, and just people who believe in conspiracy theories as a whole. I feel like they want to be a part of knowing something that most people don't know. Does that make sense? People want so hard to feel like they're in the know. And so they attach themselves to these bullshit theories. Yeah, and then you got this guy who starts a flat earther group who's not actually a flat earther himself, but he convinces them to give him money to build like a rocket for himself just to fund his rocket building hobby. But he scammed the flat earthers out of money. I think that's absolutely hilarious. Sadly, the guy died, that's true. But he scammed some flat earthers out of some money just to fund his rocket building, which I thought was hilarious. We got some decent cash out of that mission for sure, a couple $100K. Looks like we got some like milestone type stuff for the Eve thing. Where's the actual flyby Eve thing that we did? Oh, this was it. Okay. No, I guess that was the contract. Let me roll forward a couple of days. See if it cycles in some new missions for us related to Eve. Bring volcanic rock back with you? Excuse me? That's all they're gonna pay me for that? Are you kidding me? That's hilariously crappy. That's a really, like, terrible payout. Oh, dear Lord. This one would be cool. We could actually do it with that current probe if it didn't require atmospheric or landing stuff. Interesting to see what happens with a lot of qualifications. It's not about the knowledge having in your brain because you can stream it matrix style. It's about what you do with it. Yeah. Yeah. But that's like late stages of the tech, you know? I think we honestly will probably be late life by the time that kind of thing happens, at best. I feel like that tech's going to be mostly medical for a long time. You know? I feel like it'll be mostly medical for a long time. Yeah, Radar, you touched on a funny thing there. I have actually had flat earthers in here like only 2 or 3 times in my couple of years on Twitch now. 3 years on Twitch, I've had that. It hasn't happened much. I would have imagined you might see it more, but barely at all. Oh yeah, no, Frosties, I work in IT. I'm right there with you, man. I understand. Watching, Solo, watching. And in chat and stuff. I've had them a couple of times over the years. Yeah, Hamid, isn't that nuts, man? Like, Starhopper, that was 2 years ago. Look at where they're at now. There's probably going to be a really interesting, like, how it started versus how it's going picture of Starhopper taking off and the freaking 420 flight taking off. Booster 4, Ship 20. With Raptor 69 on it. Jesus Christ, Elon. No, Raptor number 69 is on the Booster 4 Ship 20 flight. That's what we got. Whether that was intentional or not, that's what we got. Knowing him, I would not be surprised if you guys are right. I would not be surprised if you guys were right. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am not super convinced that thing's gonna survive re-entry. I'm not super convinced. I'm worried about the heat shield. You can see the pictures of the heat shield touch-ups and stuff they've been doing over the last week or two, and it's looking a lot better than it did a week ago. You know, like a week or 2 weeks ago, it looked like shit in certain places, but they've repaired a lot of the bad tiles that were during the test construction phase. You know, a lot of people were like really worried, like, oh, these tiles are so finicky, they're not going to be able to use these tiles long term. Like, what are they going to do? Like, no, they're testing how to install mass amounts of tiles. Like, even manufacturing and installation is part of the test right now. So it's okay. Like, that's fine. Once they dial it all in, this won't be a problem anymore. What we'll tell is, are these tiles actually enough to survive re-entry? I don't know. There are some places, if you look along the body of Starship, on the leeward side, where they've added extra tiles, where they expect extra plasma flow during re-entry. I'm going to bet, if it fails during re-entry, there's going to be a portion of the hull that they did not properly predict is going to have extra plasma flow that won't be protected by heat shields, and that's going to be what melts the hull and blows it up. Yeah, no. Elon time, you must multiply by like 1.4. Yeah, like a 1.4 is solid for Elon time, I think. Unmanned mission, correct. Yeah, it's a test flight of the rocket system. First and second stage. No, crew is not flying on Starship for a few years at least. They're gonna have to fly it a lot of times before people get on that thing. And that all depends on flight rate. If they can't fly it as often enough during the development program as they want to, it's going to be even longer before crew ever steps foot on that thing. You know what? Star Citizen, man, I have mixed feelings about that game. It seems like they've gotten it to a decently playable state, but they milked so much money out of people for so long. It does seem like a pretty cool game now, because there's actually stuff to do, but so many people put so much money into that game before it got to that point. And I don't like that, but it does seem like if they've reached the vision that they want to reach with that game, it's going to be freaking awesome. Now, I read somebody say this one time recently, where Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous seem to be converging towards wanting a similar game, but they're both coming at it from different directions. Does that make sense? Like, they're definitely very different games now, but their development paths are kind of leading towards the same convergence. I don't know either game well enough to confirm that, but I read someone like kind of detail it out, and I was like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, Thomas, there's a lot of unknowns that could potentially happen, you know? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, let's say at the end of their development cycles for either game, they're not going to be like the same game, but they're going to be a lot closer than they are now when they're both done developing, from what I gathered. The expansion. What expansion? The planet one? Didn't they recently add like planets and stuff that you could land on and do stuff in Elite? What new expansion are you talking about for Elite? I don't know that game very well. We can get out on foot now. Right. Okay, that makes sense. So what can you do on foot in Elite now? Can you like get out and build something? Like a base? Is that a thing that you can do? So I feel like, what's the point? What gameplay loops have they added to Elite to make getting out on foot meaningful? What's the incentive for the player to do this? It sounds like it's poorly fleshed out for now. I'd imagine that's something they'll flesh out over time, you know? I feel like building a base or colony of some kind could be incentivizing and make that more fun. Yeah. I've heard that Star Citizen's got quite a lot about that. And the first-person shooter aspect of it also seems really fun. But that would obviously need to be fleshed out too. Like being able to go with your buddies and land on some moon somewhere and need to storm some kind of base. And you're like running through the halls now in this base to go collect some, whatever, capture somebody or steal something. And then, bounce out. Like that could all be some really exciting Star Citizen stuff. But how you like not every little detail. That's fine. There was a game that I played for a little bit called Hellion. Hellion. It shut down. But it had sort of like a modular station building thing. And it wasn't like super detailed, but it was modular, like big modules that you can add, which was kind of cool. Yeah, Hellion was cool, dude. That game did a lot right. It did a lot right. It was really cool. But I'm not really sure what went wrong. It sounds like their development kind of petered out and they had to officially like call the end of development for that game. But the like airlock cycling felt super realistic. And just like moving around on your EVA pack felt and sounded visceral and real. Like, no game has ever replicated that feeling for me. Not even Star Citizen. But I haven't played Star Citizen in a couple years. I bought, like, the Mustang pack. The basic, like, most basic pack for Star Citizen. I don't know, like 4 years ago or something. There's a ship called the Mustang in Star Citizen, I think. I got the Mustang. Whatever that is. So I have the game. I just haven't checked it out in a long time. It seems pretty cool now. Seems like decently playable actually. Like there's mining and missions and fighting and other crap you can do. That seemed pretty fun. I guess it was too niche. Yeah. They needed some more features, I think, to kind of flesh out the reason to play. that makes sense. But yeah, that was a cool game. I was sad to see it go. Well, guys, we freaking got there, man. We got our Eve mission done. I normally, like I said, I don't normally do the time warping thing like that, where we warp ahead like months, right? But because we had to push back a couple of streams and everything, I didn't want to delay it even further by doing a bunch of other stuff before the mission got there. So I wanted to kind of just get this one out of the way. Future stuff, we won't be doing that because streams are going to kind of settle down and get back into a groove again. I'll be able to tell you guys about this big thing I've been teasing about for weeks now. By the end of the week, this week for sure, I'll be able to say something. It's not some crazy big thing, but it's big for us. It's a big life thing, and that's exciting. No, my wife's not pregnant. Everyone always asks whenever I have something to tell you guys, but it's not that. I would be not very upfront about that if I was trying to hide it, that was the thing, and then I would surprise you with that. I would go about this way differently if that was actually what it was. It's not that. But it is a big thing, and I can't wait to tell you guys, but not yet. Digital is the best sci-fi of all time, man. Not to put down other good sci-fi like Firefly, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Babylon 5, these kinds of shows. And that's not an all-comprehensive list. None of those are bad. I just think The Expanse is the best. Thank you, Frosties. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we have a good time here. We have a good time here. I say give Star Citizen another year, roughly, and then come back and take a look. It's coming along very much now, but it's still got a hurdle to get over, and they're picking up the pace when it comes to player-facing content. Is it worth just kind of like a poke through of it? Or is it still like, give it some time kind of thing? So I got plenty of other games, man. I could put it on the list soon, or I could just keep it in the back of my head for later type of thing. I'm not entertaining guesses, Spooky. I can't say yes or no, but the pregnant thing, I'm not. I'm just coming out the gate and saying that's definitely not it for sure. That's what everyone's going to ask. It's not bad. So guys, let's choose where we go hang out, okay? Let's see who we're going to raid. I got somebody playing Re-entry in Orbital Simulator. So it has some really high fidelity things like Gemini and other stuff like that. So right now this guy's doing a Gemini re-entry, I think. Yeah, he's doing a Gemini re-entry, I believe. Or RimWorld. What do you guys think? Re-entry or RimWorld? Which is Rachel. Shut up, Thomas! You guys know who I'm talking about, okay? It's N9 Gaming and Rachel Maelstrom, alright? Come on now. So if you guys imagine DCS for flight combat simulation, Re-entry Orbital Simulator is like the spaceflight version of this. Gotcha, Digital. Digital, can you let me know in Discord, man? Let me know about Star Citizen or here in chat sometime when it gets to a good spot. Nice. Yeah, I heard about it's all one star system for now. There still seems like there's quite a bit of playtime to do in this original system. But it'll be interesting to see what sort of incentive players have to go to these other star systems. Is it going to be unique materials? Is it going to be high-paying missions? Derelict ships you can salvage and take for yourself. Things like this sound really exciting. Yeah, No Man's Sky got a lot better since release. Like, I didn't play it around release because there's a lot of drama about it. about features they said they were going to put in and literally didn't put in, but they lied, were actually already in the game, but weren't even coded, not even buggy, but in there, but literally not even coded into the game, even though they said they were. So they lied. They directly lied. Like multiplayer, for example, they said was in, but actually wasn't. They did this big like redemption arc. I forget the name of the patch and update it, but it was a huge content update. And they fixed a bunch of issues with the game. And it's actually pretty cool now. It's a pretty cool game. They definitely redeemed themselves, I think, in a big way. So No Man's Sky is pretty cool now. I had a good run with it after the big update. It's fun. Gotta give them credit, man. They took the criticism in stride and they fixed it. A lot of game developers would dig their heels in and not do that. Gotta give them credit. Blippo! What's up, Blippo? How you doing, buddy? Shabba-dabba-da. How you doing? I'm doing great, man. We had a really fun mission in Kerbal today. I wrote some code to control my satellite using a modding game called Kerbal Operating System. We wrote the whole script on stream today, and it worked perfectly for the mission. Did a lot of testing, but the testing we did made the mission itself go perfectly. It went great. So now we got an orbiter around Eve, the Venus-like planet in Kerbal. Yeah, BHP, I'm basically done. Yeah, we're signing out here in a minute. At the minute, it's mostly ground combat, ship combat, some bounty hunting stuff, cargo transport, and mining. I mean, that sounds like some stuff to do, you know, for a while. So ground combat is interesting, like first-person shooter style stuff? Or like rovers with guns? Because I know that there was some FPS stuff to the game that was like sort of a special mode or whatever, but they were going to integrate that into the actual base game. I don't remember the details. I do remember the first-person shooter stuff actually feeling pretty good. Like 0G first-person shooter was really cool. The mechanics behind it were pretty fun. Yeah, Pixel. I remember hearing about a lot of those details. I think so, you are. Yeah, I think so, man. I forget whose chat we were in, but I remember that. We have huge cave systems in now. Whoa, that's cool. That actually sounds pretty cool, man. Okay, no one stated really a preference for what we go watch, so I'm literally rolling a D20 here. Go evens for N9, and it's an even. Okay, we're gonna rate N9. Ultrasaurus. That's right. That's right. I know KSP2 doesn't end up like No Man's Sky. I don't think it will, man, because they were able to delay. I was saying this earlier, like I'm actually happy that KSP2 is delayed in a way, because that means they have the financial capability to keep the development cycle going. They have the administrative capability, meaning they don't have bosses or some publishing company breathing down their necks trying to push it out the door as quickly as possible. Those two things make me really hopeful for KSP2. I literally don't care how long it takes. They could delay it again 3 more times. I literally would not care at all. That tells me that it's going to be as good as they want it to be when it comes out. Until we have other evidence to the contrary, I have faith in that. No, it's not guaranteed to not fail, Pixel. You got to be realistic. It could still fail. It could still flop. Who knows? But it gives me hope that they're able to delay it and not shovel it out the door as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's a whole nother one, though. Cyberpunk was a fucking disaster, man. Anyway, guys, I'm going to post a stream schedule sometime tomorrow for what you can expect for this week. Love you guys lots. Keep an eye out in Discord. Right there in Discord. I will see you guys in Discord. Keep an eye out for the schedule there. Peace out. Love you lots. Bye. Have a good night.